Second again.
Please.
Put it on a slate. Bloody hell.
Oh. You should keep off that leg, Alf. Cheers. You bought the ring for Mrs. Hollenby yet?
I'd be daft. I've already got one, haven't I? One else left. God rest her soul.
Did she take it with her?
Well, I was going to leave it on her finger, but I thought they all know about it up there. We got married in one of his churches, didn't we? One of his blokes married us, so it'd be in his records. I don't trust them undertakers. If I'd have left it on her finger, they'd had it all for thieving swines.
Well, Mrs. Hollenby wouldn't want another woman's wedding ring, though, would she?
She won't know, will she?
Well, you removed Elsie's wedding ring before they put her down?
She wanted me to have it. With her last breath, she wanted me to have it. Anyway, wasn't going to let it lay under the ground. It's gold, isn't it?
You didn't sell it. You did. You sold it.
Well, it's just sitting in a drawer. It's not doing no good in there, is it?
Well, if you sold it, how can you give it to Mrs. Hollenby?
Kept the ticket.
Well, you pawned it. You pawned your dead wife's wedding
I
ring.
kept the ticket off. I wouldn't part with that ticket. I treasure that ticket.
You know what is the best thing about marriage, Mr. Garnett?
What?
Nothing. Nothing is the best thing about marriage. But if you must, you know what is the best ring to buy?
What?
Wholesale. Wholesale is the best. And if you want wholesale, I know wholesale. I was in wholesale before they invented wholesale. My sister's house, wholesale. Her husband's car, wholesale.
Hey, Ike, you know wholesale?
Yeah.
You can get wholesale? Go and get us 2 large whiskies. Go on, wholesale.
So you're going in there to propose to her now, are you?
Yeah, well, now I've decided to take the plunge, I thought I might as well let her know, you know. They like to make plans and things, don't they?
Oh, I shouldn't be too casual about it, though, Alf. I mean, if you're going to marry Mrs. Hollenby and you can buy that house cheap off the council, that's £100,000 in it for you. Try and give her a bit of romance. They like that sort of thing, you know, being swept off their feet. What you've got to do, try and convince her that you're head over heels in love with her. She's the only pearl in the world for you, and you couldn't live without her. Tell her if she turns you down, you'll probably die of a broken heart.
You think she'd believe all that?
No, I shouldn't think so, but that's the sort of rubbish they like to hear, isn't it? I mean, they read about it in books, see it on the telly, watch it on the films. They want life to be full of romance. Of course, it's not. That's why they turn so bloody nasty after they're married.
Yeah, well, it is a big moment, I suppose. So?
So, be like Clark Gable when he went after Myrna Loy. Imagine that she's waiting there to rush to the door when she hears your knock.
Well, I've got a key, haven't I?
Go in there after her, sweep her up in your arms, shower her with kisses, throw yourself at her feet. Tell her that your life is hers and you can't live without her. You would die for her. You would defend her against enemies. Walk 1,000,000 miles for one of her smiles.
That wasn't Clark Gable, that was Al Jolson.
Women are...
And he was singing it to his mother, not to his wife. You know, remember? Mammy, Mammy, I'll walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles. Mammy.
It's a mistake keeping the pubs open all day.
And they complain their pension's not large enough.
Well, it won't be, with the pubs open all day.
I don't give a damn. She's up there now. Little did she know what I've got in store for her. Oh, blimey. That her wildest dreams are about to come true. Be like Christmas for her. When I tell her what I've got planned, will she be happy? Will she be happy when I tell her, I love you. Yes, I do. I'm willing to marry you, Mrs. Hollenberry. Spread the little happiness and your goodbye. Mrs. Hollenberry.
Yes?
Can you come down here a minute?
Well, it'll have to wait.
Well, go without! I was going to ask her to marry me, I must be up the pole, round the bloody twist. Make a fuss of her, be romantic. Be wasted on her, she wouldn't understand it. She don't even know what polite is, even. I'm offering to marry her, and she's too busy to come down the bleeding stairs. Well, sod her. Let her stay up here. Who wants her down here? I don't. Find out before you start. Know what you're letting yourself in for. They're all the same, all of them. None of them's any different. Self, self, self. It's all they think about. Never a fault for the... especially for the husband.
I thought you wanted to talk to me. Well, what do you want to say to me?
Nothing.
You called up the stairs.
Did I?
Yes, you asked me to come down.
Well, you was too busy.
Well, I was then.
Well, I am now.
Well, don't call me. Wasting my time anymore. I mean, I've got things to do.
So have I! So have I! You're not the only one with things to do. Thank you, God. You don't give nothing away without it's got a nasty sting in its tail, do you? You show me how to make £100,000 out of this house, but I've got to marry her to do it. You strike our bargain, Lord. £100,000, blimey. That's worth a bit of sacrifice, that is, isn't it? £100,000 to have to marry her. Look at it like that. Yeah, well... she's a good cook, I suppose. I could do worse. All right, Lord, I'll accept the deal. I don't know why you always have to have strings attached, though. That's why people go off you, you know. Wouldn't hurt you to give away something for nothing, just for once. Well, no. See your point, though. Make her happy at the same time. 2 birds with 1 stone. Ah. Always thinking of how you can do good, ain't you? You've got her interests at heart, ain't you, eh? You're an old softy, you are. Oh, well, she's a good woman, I suppose. Deserves a little bit of happiness. Mrs. Solenberry!
Now what?
Can you come down here a moment, please?
What?
I've got something to tell you.
I wish you'd make up your mind. You had something to tell me before till you've changed your mind.
You...
I've got more to do than traipse up and down these stairs.
You could be sorry if you don't.
Sorry for what?
No, I'm not shouting up the stairs.
Well, I can hear you just as well up here as down there.
All right, if you don't want to hear what I've got to say, I won't tell you. If you don't want to come down here, stay up there. But you could be losing out, because it's to your advantage.
What?
Right, step inside, please. Take a seat.
What, here?
Make yourself comfortable.
Oh, no. Do you have to smoke that thing? Oh.
My first wife used to complain about this. But as I explained to her, I said, in marriage, my dear, there's to be a bit of give, a bit of take, right?
Yes. I expect you've had more than your fair share of both. How many times you've been married?
Just the once, my dear.
You said your first wife.
She was my first wife.
She was your only
She
wife.
was my first and only wife up until now. God rest her soul.
Up until now?
I said I'd never marry again. It was very dear to me, my else was, and her memory still haunts me to this very day. But I think I've done my duty there. She was a good woman and a very worthy wife, and well deserving of the sorrow that I felt for her. But I think I owe it to another now. Another good woman and just as worthy in her way, with who I'm willing to share my remaining days.
You mean you're planning to get married again?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I'm willing to give it another go. That's what I'm saying. But don't look so surprised. I'm not drunk or anything. Well, so, I mean, if you are thinking about getting married again, if you're looking for romance or something, if you feel the need of a man in your life, well, you can stop searching, because I'm willing to give you a try.
give me a try, are you?
Correct.
Well, that's very nice of you. When would you like me to start? Or are there others you've got to try out first?
Look, you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Unless I'm to take it that you're proposing to me.
That's what I'm saying, isn't it?
Not very romantically.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Get down on my knees like some daft ape and...
Beg. Though I doubt if you're man enough for that.
Man? What do you mean, man enough? I'll show you if I'm man enough. Oh, blimey. I'll tell you one thing. I'm man enough not to go down on my knees to anybody.
A strong man, a really strong man, would think nothing of throwing himself at the feet of the woman he loved and begging her to marry him. You haven't even said you love me yet.
Well, I thought you'd know that. I thought you'd take that for granted.
Seems you've taken quite a bit for granted.
Lord, I wouldn't have called you down from upstairs if I didn't, would I?
If you didn't, what?
What? Blimey. What I've been saying.
£100,000. Marry Mrs. Allenby and it'll be all yours. Be romantic, Elf. You've got to sweep her off her feet, the way Clark Gable used to do with Myrna Loy and Vivian Lee. I love you and I want you for my bride.
Oh, Christ! I love you and I want you for my bride.
I'll have to think about it.
Eh?
You'll have to give me time.
You what?
It's a big step.
A big step? You... Oh, God! You here! I'm offering to marry you! Me! It's me! I'm offering to marry you, silly cow! Hey! Bloody hell!
How'd you get on with Mrs. Allenby?
Eh?
Did you pop the question?
Well, put my cards on the table and left her to mull it over.
What did she say?
Well, it's a big step for her, innit? It's more than she bargained for, I suppose. See, like, when her husband died, well, she put out the grass, so to speak, and here I come along and offering to put her back between the shafts again, so... I dare say she's wondering if she's up to it. See, when she was first made a widow, she probably thought, that's it, my life is over, and here I am, offering to give her another go. So it's probably all been a bit too much for her, and I can understand that, Arthur, so I thought, you know, I'll let her sleep on it, and when the excitement has died down, I'll...
Well, here she comes now. Well, aren't you going to ask her over?
Well, she wants to come over. She'll come over. I mean, she can see me sitting here.
Well, I mean, aren't you going to buy her a drink?
Look, I don't want to make too much fuss, do I?
I'll get her one.
Yeah,
Oh,
got you a drink.
Oh, I was just going to get you one.
Yeah, I saw you rush into the bar.
Here's a chair. Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks, Arthur.
Oh, good Elf, good Elf. Yeah, congratulations, is it?
What for?
Oh, good Elf.
So you told him?
What?
I thought it was our secret. I'll trust you to tell everybody. I haven't even give you my answer yet, and everybody knows.
Knows what?
Oh, have you two got a secret? Well, look, if you want to be private, I don't
No,
mind.
it's all right, Arthur. He seems to have told everybody else down the street. One more won't matter.
Told what?
Look, the man in the corner shop knows. 4 people met me on my way here, and they know. And all them at the bar, they know.
Congratulations!
I never told nobody.
Nor me, I never said a word. Cross my heart, Elf.
Congratulations, Mr. Garnett. And you know what they say, don't you? Any man who gets married for a second time doesn't deserve to have lost his first wife. Just a joke to laugh. Well, they'll find a way. Well, there's a will, eh, Mr. Garnett? Yeah, but I think you should make one of them out, you know? I mean, think of her. You start your jiggies after all these years, it might be a shock to your sister. You don't want to leave her destitute.
You mustn't mind my Fred. He don't mean nothing. It's just his way. He has to see the funny side of everything.
Yeah, well, I'll show him the funny side of my hand in a minute. If he wants to laugh, he should look in the mirror.
Just having a joke, Mrs. Hollenberry.
Yeah, so was your mother when she had you, Paul.
His mother had him late in life.
Yeah, well, that's always a mistake.
Yes, I'm sure of it. His sister's a handsome woman. He was always the ugly duckling, poor Fred. I sometimes wonder what I ever saw in him. Not there now, anyway, whatever it was. Still, I mustn't grumble. We got a nice house. And there wasn't much choice for anybody in those days. There was all much of a muchness.
Oh, well, my late husband, George, God rest his soul, I mean, he was always a cut above most of them round here.
Well, I suppose I must have thought my Fred was at one time.
My George was a very smartly turned out man. Very well thought of. And very good looking. He was an MC.
Well, a military cross.
Master of ceremonies at dances.
Only the Catholic one.
Well, I only went to the Catholic ones.
But I knew your husband.
Well?
Nothing.
She can go on about me with the ugly duckling. You know, I could have had my pick, I could. Her choice might have been limited, but mine wasn't. My mother might have had me late in life, but at least I was her choice. Well, it wasn't the result of a drunken father. Talk about your family. 10 of them, you know. 10 of them, her mother has.
What are you doing?
Jim, I could have married Beauty. I had a good job and money, but my mother warned me against that. She said, you're not out buying a decoration for your house, she said. You're looking for a wife. Someone who's going to keep it smart and tidy. And when I took her home, Mum said, that's her. Marry her, because she won't stray. So get the chance.
Get off of me.
I'm serious. She was my choice. Oh, yes. And she's one in a million in her own way.
Oh, my God, he wants looking at.
Looks aren't everything, eh, dear? Beauty's only skin deep, Mr. Garney, and it soon wears off as they get older. I mean, it's like anything. It's like, take my motor. Pretty as a picture she was when I bought her, shiny with new paint she was, but now, clapped out she is now. Clapped out, just like, well, anything, isn't it? No. No, I wasn't looking for beauty. I wasn't daft. I knew what I wanted. Nothing lasts, Mr. Garnett. Not in pristine condition, as the government's finding out with its health service. It's a question of the cost of keeping them on the road, you know? It's a new gearbox with the car. What it might be with her, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't look under the bonnet. But after 20 years, the bodywork starts to show its age. Bits fall off. The big end might blow it. What I've got to decide is, can I afford to keep it on the road? I mean, as soon as you patch up something, something else falls off. It's all right for your doctors and your mechanics, they're earning out of it. But I'm going to take you to. If you were cars, you wouldn't pass your MOTs. I'm sorry. No offence meant, Mr. Garnett, but it's true, isn't it, eh? As Maggie Thatcher thought of this, privatise the National Health Service. Abandon them all to market forces. That's what she's going to do, eh? Hey, good old Maggie.
Oh, I think you've had enough of that.
I don't know. I'm going to have another.
You fool.
You mustn't let my Fred upset you, Mr. Garnett. It's just his way with people. He loves Mrs. Thatcher. He won't hear a word said against her. It was all Adolf Hitler at one time. But since Mrs. Thatcher's took over, poor Adolf's had to take a back seat. He used to praise that man so much. I said to him once, I said, Fred, you keep going on like that about Mr. Hitler, people will get the wrong impression.
Congratulations, Mr. Garnett. And if you get as much happiness out of her as I've had out of my little old Dutch here, you won't be doing too bad. Yeah. There ain't
Put a shot in it!
Because I've done well. I'm happy. We're happy, aren't we, dear? In our own way.
Yes, in our own way, I suppose. You loved your wife, didn't you, Mr. Garnett?
Oh, yeah.
And she loved you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. She always said if she hadn't married you, she'd have probably ended up marrying somebody just like you.
I think I've got the pools up.
Have you? Well, fill these up then.
I've never won the pools. Not ever. No, I've never been lucky enough.
You don't do them, do you?
That's right. No good doing them if you're not lucky enough. My late husband, he used to do them. God rest his soul. He used to go up the church every Friday night and light a candle to St. Teresa. And not only her, the Holy Mother. And some Fridays, the Lord Jesus himself, but we still never won nothing.
Perhaps they didn't know what teams he'd picked. I mean, I shouldn't think they follow football, you saints. Go on, Bennett. How much do you think you won, Arthur?
Oh, quite a lot. Well, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm so sure I would wait all night the other night trying to think what I would do with it. You know, I mean, it's quite a fortune, a million or so.
Much as that?
What, pounds?
Well, he's not talking about pennies, is he?
It's a lot of money, 1,000,000 pennies is. It's... Well, I wouldn't mind having some of it.
It's a lot of money.
There you are, I said it was.
He's talking about pounds, not pennies!
Oh, shut up, Barney.
It makes you think, Alf. I mean, it makes you wonder. I mean, it's worrying. What are you going to do with it all?
Yeah, it would. But I think I know what to do with it.
Would you?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
What, £1 million? You'd know what to do if you won £1 million?
Yeah, you'd spend it in here.
Some of it I might, my dear, some of it. Tell you one thing, I wouldn't sit looking empty glass.
Oh, right, I'll get you some more. Sorry.
No, I'll get them, Arthur.
You got the last order?
It don't matter who got the last order, does it? Hey, we're friends, Arthur.
As soon as we hear the key in the lock, I'll turn the light on and everybody shouts, surprise, surprise.
He'll only turn the light on himself as soon as he comes in.
Oh, well, look, get on a chair, get the bulb out, right? And we'll let him fumble for a bit, and then I'll shout, go now, and you stick it back.
They're coming.
All right, go on.
They're coming down the road.
Get it ready.
Blimey, this bulb's up.
Yeah, we'll use a handkerchief.
Bloody dog, he does it in the same spot every bloody time. Ah, the bloody bulb's gone. I can't see nothing. Here. There's somebody in here. Go now!
There's Mr. Garnett.
I'll get in.
Joey in here. The heart failure. Absolutely. What's he doing? You left me. You ran off and left me.
I thought he was with me.
You ran off and left me here.
I was coming back for you.
Mine.
Where are you going?
I'm going back to my own room.
But this is your engagement party.
I wouldn't marry him. I'd want a man, not a mouse.
Come on, there's all this food and drink. Don't spoil it.
Alf, she's your woman.
Right. Mrs. Hollenberry?
Oh, go and boil your head. I don't know if I can marry him.
Why not?
I can't get insurance out on him. I asked the man, and he said it would cost too much.
Oh, what do you mean in case he...
Kicks the bucket.
And it wouldn't be cheap.
Not burying him, no, not these days.
No, it'd be left to me to do it.
Look.
Now, you've got to think about these things, Mr. Garnett. I mean, a man your age, the odds aren't with him, not with insurance companies.
What about a man your age?
Well, I've got my house across the road, haven't I? Oh, that's collateral. Yeah. Mind you, you've got your house here. This is collateral.
No, it's not ours. It belongs to the council.
Buy it off them.
Eh?
Yeah, as a married couple, you could buy it off the council cheap. You must know about this, Mr. Garnett. It cost about £20,000. Market value about £100,000.
Is that true?
That's right, isn't it, Arthur? Oh, yeah, as a married couple, you'd be laughing living here. You'd be sharing £100,000. It'd pay you to get married, even if you don't love each other, eh, Mr. Garnett?
£50,000 each? Here, did you hear that? £50,000? Blimey, I think I'd marry the devil for that. I probably am. I accept, Mr. Garnett. I accept your proposal of marriage.
£50,000, Alf. It's not to be sneezed at. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. A happy couple.
Well done. Go on then, Mr. Garnett. Kiss her.
Go on. Do it.